The IES unit was an experience like no other. By becoming economic advisors for our country, Malaysia, we learned of the core concepts of standard of living and quality of life, and what affects these two key ideas. We learned about why countries trade and how important it is to the well-being of the world. We learned of the key concept of globalization and how the world is becoming increasingly more connected. We also learned about comparative advantage and why countries specialize in certain industries. In its entirety, the International Economic Summit gave us a better understanding of how countries interact with each other to raise their standards of living and qualities of life. Our goal as economic advisors for Malaysia was to raise the standard of living and quality of life for Malaysians. As a part of our strategic plan to accomplish this goal, we plan to buy these 4 long-term development plans during the summit: security and defense, education, transparent and accountable governance, and infrastructure. During the summit, we bought all 4 plans, and in doing so, raised the standard of living and quality of life for Malaysia to a very high degree. Here's why. Recently, with threats from North Korea and Thailand becoming a military state, Malaysians are increasingly needing more safety. By buying a long-term development plan for security and defense, Malaysians can now feel safer and therefore have an improved quality of life. According to the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Report for 2016 to 2017, Malaysia is ranked 44th out of 138 countries in terms of primary education. With this in mind, we knew that education had to be improved. So by buying a long-term development plan for education, we are giving citizens the knowledge to acquire high-level jobs and produce more, and in doing so, raising their standard of living. And when education increases, the Human Development Index of Malaysia increases, and therefore, the quality of life for Malaysians also increase. Malaysia's current governance scores are very low. Malaysia's score of voice and accountability is negative 0.35. Malaysia's score of political stability and absence of violence is 0.19. By buying a long-term development plan to improve governance, we are reducing risk. And when risk is reduced, people are more likely to invest. An increase in investments raises the GDP of our nation. If Malaysia's population remains constant, GDP-PC increases as well. And so by buying this long-term development plan, we are raising the standard of living. Before the summit, we determined that infrastructure was important for increasing the efficiency of our country. As with better roads, goods can arrive faster to markets and people can travel faster, resulting in a better quality of life. Infrastructure also allows our nation to function and is vital to our production. With more production comes an increased standard of living. So by buying a long-term development plan for infrastructure, we increase the standard of living and quality of life for our nation. By buying all these long-term development plans, we help secure the future of our nation and raise the standard of living and quality of life for Malaysians to a very high degree. Another aspect of our strategic plan was our imports. According to the World Bank, only 2.9% of Malaysia's land can be farmed, so we set our food import goal to 4 in order to provide adequate food for our populace and therefore increase their quality of life. With threats from North Korea and Thailand's instability, we decided to set our military good imports to 4 in order to provide a better sense of security for our citizens and therefore increase their quality of life. Credit is extremely important in allowing entrepreneurs to flourish in our country, so we set our financial services goal to 2. In doing so, we would increase the standard of living as increased entrepreneur investments would raise GDP-PC. Just as infrastructure is important for citizens to commute to their work, transportation services are vital for citizens to get to their work on time. Those lost hours from not being able to get to work due to a lack of transportation results in lost production. So by setting our import goal for transportation services to 2, we would increase our production and therefore raise the standard of living. Due to scarcity, a country's production is limited by its factors of production. By setting our import goals for raw materials to 4 and energy products to 3, we would increase our nation's capability to produce more, and in doing so, we raise the standard of living for our nation. During the summit, we were able to meet every single one of our import goals. In doing so, we raised the standard of living and quality of life of our nation to a high degree. Thank you for listening.
And then I get that good old bus. Magic school bus time, kids.
Oh my gosh, it's a bowl. Keep going, travel wheels.
It looks like a boat. Wait.